sir. It is visible.
Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. This is an interesting seminar as far as the content of the seminar is concerned. Today we'll be looking at just an introduction to what is online exam monitoring or remote exam monitoring. Both mean the same. Let me see, my video is also there. Okay. Both mean the same. But I don't think many of you would have heard the name of proctoring also. Even it was quite new to me also when I started researching into it. So basically, it's nothing but like actually monitor, like whatever we used to do as an invigilator in the classroom, we do it online. So like the way shifting from offline to online, it may appear simple and easy flow, but over a period of time, what we realize is it is not a simple process. So there is a lot of learning curve which is attached as far as the teachers are concerned, the invigilators are concerned, and there is some amount of learning curve as far as the students are concerned also. So anyhow, as far as students are concerned, they are more or less used to online platforms like social media platforms. So it will be more or less similar to them. But monitoring them or invigilating them online, it is not an easy process as far as the teachers are concerned. So let us look into some of the things what is as part of online education, online examination is concerned. So we will look at why online this thing is necessary, online examination is necessary. Then what is online proctoring? Then what are the necessary technologies as far as monitoring the students are concerned? What are the necessary technical knowledge which are required for the invigilator and also a student? And also what are the prerequisites for an online examination? And if there are any drawbacks as far as online examination are concerned? And if there are drawbacks, how to overcome the drawbacks? And there are any issues as far as conducting the online examination is concerned? Guidelines preparing an online examination, and guidelines during online examination also. So either during online and also after the online examination for the students and also for the invigilator. Why is it necessary? Now anyhow, as we all know, we are looming around with the COVID-19 pandemic. So when we sent this out, we told them that after 15 days you need to come back to the college. Then over a period of time, we are realizing that 15 days is never to be seen. So it has been extended, we also don't know to how long it will go on. So it is more or less it has become a post-COVID-19 pandemic world. We will be looking at how things are shaping as far as education is concerned. One of the important things as far as education is concerned is actually how to conduct an exam, because evaluation becomes very important. One is conducting the online session is one aspect, but it becomes more difficult part as far as the online examination is concerned. So rather than thinking why online, now it has become imperative that we need to be ready for something which is online, because it becomes now more or less one or the other pandemic will be looming around, or maybe one or the other viral infections will be looming around, and we get used to this kind of situation. So it may not completely replace the offline model, but at least some amount of knowledge is definitely necessary as far as online examination is concerned, so that in kind of defects, at least we have an alternative to handle the assess it to students, the knowledge of the students as far as the assessment of the students is concerned. What is online proctoring? Online proctoring is nothing but like you keep a bird eye view on what is happening. Like it is basically remotely proctoring, like you are not sitting in a hall and invigilating the students. Sitting in a hall and invigilating students is relatively easy. You can just move your eye and you can see the whole hall. But in a online proctoring, you'll over a period of time, once you enter into that, you'll try to understand. It is not easy process as far as monitoring is concerned. So some amount of knowledge acquisition is very important. So upskilling is very important to handle the online examination. So it is generally refers to the proctors monitoring an exam over the internet through a webcam. Inputs as well, all the process occurring at a distance. There is a difference. That is a distance. The student is 1 second. I'll just mute everybody. Yeah. So anytime once we finish the session, actually you can ask the question. Till then, kindly mute yourself. So any issues are there, you can unmute yourself and come in between also. So it includes all the process which is occurring at a distance actually. Like the examiner is elsewhere, the student is elsewhere. In a sense, actually, like we need to authenticate the student also. Like we also not sure whether the same student is attending or like students are very smart as far as these things are concerned and much smarter than when compared to a teacher. So in a sense, so we need to understand what will happen over a period of time as far as the students are concerned, how to authenticate the student and how to conduct the examination as far as online examinations are concerned. Like if you look from a student perspective, this is how things will be. Like you can see a student which is sitting in the sitting in the like on the desk. The desk is very much clear. There is a mobile phone here. I think you can see the mobile phone. 1 second. So there is a mobile phone here. So this mobile phone is actually looking into her. So whatever she is doing, it has been recorded here. So she's on some kind of online video chatting for platform, like for example, Zoom. So being on Zoom or something, or Zoom or WebEx or whatever it is. So this is recording whatever she is doing. So like any movement in her also will be recorded. So the desk will be completely seen from this. So the mobile phone should be kept in a place where the mobile phone will be able to capture the student completely. This is the student model. And from that model, if the student is looking into a laptop or looking into a mobile phone, it will appear like that. If the examiner is coming online, the examiner is dictating some kind of questions. So the examiners will dictate questions. Whatever the questions are there, or my examiner may share the screen. So this will come here. So looking at the screen, the student will start writing the examination. So this is some kind of written examination or something like that. So from the student model, it will be more or less like this. Then we look at one second. Yeah. And from the invigilator perspective, how it will be like. From an invigilator, like for example, if you just open up the screen and you want to see all the students, it will be like this. So all the students will be here. So it depends upon number of students you are putting for each invigilator. So ideally, what is essential as far as when you put the when you take the invigilator, you should not be put more than at least 20 to 30 students. If there are more than 30, you can see how the screen is. So if there are more than 20, 30 students, actually you will not be able to invigilate or understand what the student is doing. So as far as possible, the number of invigilators, the student should be around 20 to 30 per invigilator, depending upon the number of students. So because once you click some screen, for example, if you click on one of the students here, the screen will appear like this. So whatever the student is writing here will be seen. The student can use some kind of either water or some kind of snacks can be taken. But other than that, and other than the paper what she is writing, nothing else should be there on the table. So the mobile phone should be as far behind as possible so that the complete table is visible as far as the writing is concerned. So there are a number of solutions, complete solution software, where the whole the software will take care of it. So in software, like there are like more than like Proctoring is there, examinee is there, a lot of softwares are there. All these software, so what they do is actually the software has to be installed into the computer. So like both the student should have installed software, and also exam invigilator should also have an in the software. So when the software is installed, then you can monitor this kind of thing. So all this is actually slightly on the higher side, on costlier side. And to start with, actually, we don't need to use this kind of fancy softwares for management of examination, because more or less whatever the online examination is there, it is only actually we are using it as a supplement, not to completely replace offline examination. So in case of difficulty of conducting an offline examination, then we'll try to use online examination. So without using all this complex software, we'll look in how we can the examination also. So this is actually a simple solution where you can conduct the examination with a minimum technology. So these are the necessary technologies. You need to have one online video conferencing software. Either you can use Zoom, or you can use Cisco Webinar or Google Meet or something like that. Or one social media platform like similar like WhatsApp. Most of them are using WhatsApp. and one PDF converting software like Camcorder. It can be any PDF converting software in there. I'm just mentioned one, given in one example. It can be anything. So what are the necessary technical knowledge which is essential as far as the invigilators are concerned and as far as the students are concerned? As far as the invigilators are concerned, actually the amount of technical invigilators should be having is more than actually students. But the funny part is actually students will have more knowledge than the invigilator. So you need to upskill, all the invigilators need to upskill to some extent as far as how to handle this kind of online examination. So like video conferencing software, you need to be thorough into either Zoom or Cisco Webex or one of the software. Like the institution should be using one software, and all the invigilators should be thorough with this software, so that like you cannot keep changing the software. But each and every software will have some kind of technical glitches and technical differentials. So you stick on to one software, and all the invigilators are into one software. They understand the software well. Then they get into handling the examination. And also any social media is there. Everybody uses WhatsApp, and most of you will be in camcorder. This will not be an issue. But for online video conferencing software, the students, the invigilator should know through and through as far as possible how to handle how to conduct the meeting. Rather than participating in the meeting, the invigilator should be able to understand how to conduct a meeting by himself. Then only you will understand what are the complexities of the software, and it becomes easier for him to handle in future also. But as far as the students are concerned, it is pretty simple. They need to understand how to join in for the meeting. So it's very simple. Like as you join in for a video chat, either a WhatsApp video chat or a Skype chat, it is similar. So it will be either if you are conducting your Zoom or WebEx, whatever it is. The simple thing is the student should be enter into the software and or with all the credentials. So on the WhatsApp, they know, and Camcorder they will be knowing. So they just need to join the meeting. So as far as technical knowledge requirement for the students is concerned, it is limited. But as far as the invigilators are concerned, they need to have amount of technical knowledge. Then prerequisites for an online examination. What are very, very essential as far as an online examination is concerned is good lighting conditions. The students should be having, both the students and also the invigilators should be having a good lighting condition. Type of room is very important. Like you cannot, like some of the, it so happens that the student will be in a kitchen also, and even the invigilator sometimes can be in the kitchen also. So the type of where you're conducting the session is very important. It should give some kind of official status as far as the examination is concerned. So the student should be in the living room or a study room, and as far as possible, invigilator should be in his chamber or in some kind of a living room where the students are also comfortable to looking at the invigilator. And the extent of decluttering of the table and room, the table should be neat and clean. Other than the paper on which he is writing, and maybe water and maybe some amount of snacks, nothing else should be there on the table. If there is a requirement of calculator, the calculator can be there. So whatever requirement is there is already pre-informed to the student. So based on that, the student will be placing those kind of things in front of the table, and it will be completely visible to the invigilator. And elaborate of filming of the room. So that's what, like the filming of as far as possible, should the mobile camera of the student should be placed slightly far off, so that the complete picture is seen. And elaborate of filming hands. So hands should be seen, here should be seen, and below and under the computer, as far as possible, everything should be seen. So as far as what are some of the prerequisites for the online examination? The examination has to be as transparent as possible and as explicit as possible, and it should be very clear, and the invigilator should be talking in a very slow language so that the student should be able to grasp it and understand it. And if some clarification is required, the invigilator should be able to give the clarification also. So the complete detail has to be given to the students, how the procedures for signing up for the exams, time and place consideration to attend the exams, and detailed instruction to the identification of the test markers. For example, test takers means like you may require the student show his ID card. So the student should show the ID card. If he has the ID card, he should show the ID card and show and tell that, and his verification has to be done by the invigilator. So once after all the verification done, then only the examination can be conducted. So admissible and like the invigilator should also kindly don't unmute yourself. Okay. So admissible and unadmissible behavior, like what are the things which are admissible, what are the things which are not admissible, should also be told to the students. Like the tools and resources for the examination, where like I told you, what are the things which are essential as far as is concerned, and procedures in case of suspicion of fraud. Like if there is a fraud, what are the procedures which are followed from the examiner side and from the student side, what he needs to inform as far as the procedures are concerned. And procedures, when anything technically goes wrong, what the student has to do, all these things should be informed. And well-described responsibility of personnel of the exam. So all the invigilators should have a complete information of how the exams will go through. And period of time for providing feedback regarding achievement. If there is, you want to take a feedback or something like that, there should be some given some amount of time. So proctored remote exams have some drawbacks. It doesn't mean that nothing is without any, it is clean, foolproof, but you need to understand that it is stressful for the student. Like given that invigilators are also under stress, and it is actually in a sense, as far as the students are concerned, it is more stressful. So you need to understand what are the kind of problems as far as the students are facing, and you need to respond to that kind of problem. There can be a substantial increase in the amount of work as far as the invigilators are concerned. It is not an easy thing. Once you start entering into this, you will realize conducting an invigilation offline is pretty easy, but doing an invigilation online, it is not an easy process. And the planning should also be to include how to handle failure to conduct the examination. Like there has to be this thing. Sometimes it so happens there may be there will be internet will be gone. So if the internet is gone from the teacher side or the chief examiner, chief invigilator side, then you should know how to handle the situation also. Like what is the next step which will be done. Then if there are privacy issues, then that has to, like there may be some privacy issues. So now I think most of the privacy issues have been overcome. Even in Zoom also, privacy issues have been, the fear of Zoom is actually over actually, because they've started working on that. Now at least now I can say they have started working from since past 1 month or 1.5 2 months. And now as far as security issues are concerned, it is similar to Cisco WebinX. And they are trying to build it, which will be much more secure when compared to Cisco WebinX. So this privacy issues and these things are concerned, they should be explained to the students. Then students are generally smarter than teachers, that we need to understand. Like students are generally smarter than us, so they will see to it. Like they will also work out on how they can overcome this kind of things. So you should also think in terms of student. What can the student do? So then when we start thinking in terms of a student, actually all this we can also come up with like how to monitor these kind of things also. Then keep alternative methods for in case of technical failure of online examination. Then how do you overcome the drawbacks of remote examination? So as far as the drawbacks of the remote examination is concerned, ample care should be taken to mitigate anxiety and possible problems to the students. So like students are the prime concern as far as the online examination is concerned. Once you start conducting the online examination, we will come to know like students are not easy, like students don't take it very easily. So you need to understand their anxiety and you need to respond to that and give a detailed understanding of how the examination is conducted, so that they they enter into a comfort zone as far as online examination is concerned, and give a detailed talk on how the exams are conducted. And we also tell them that we can also have some kind of alternatives if the failures of an examination is there. Then privacy issues are already now well handled, I told you. And always keep thinking from the angle of a student. If you start thinking from the angle of a student, how the student will take the exam, then we will come out with all kind of things, and we will be able to solve many things, which is over a period of time we'll try to understand. Some of the issues in conducting online examination, fairness and feasibility is one of the things. Fairness, like it's not easy, but nowadays all kinds of softwares are there. If you try to implement all kinds of the kind of software, and even without any complex software, actually we can see to it that some amount of fairness as far as online examination is concerned. Anyhow, it is feasible because internet is there in most of the places as far as India is concerned. So feasibility is always there. The exam is technically reliable and feasible. So we should see to it that it's technologically reliable. Whatever the technology we're using, at least it is able to be, it should be user friendly as far as the presenter is concerned, that is the invigilator is concerned, and it should be user friendly as far as the student is concerned. So invigilating on online examination can be a really challenging process also. Like it is not pretty easy. Like once we start the demo sessions, you will try to understand. Both examiner and the student should be familiar with the tools and its uses. And guidelines for preparing an online examination, as far as the teachers are concerned, you need to design a question in such a way that it will test their cognitive skill more than the reflective, like they just copy, like rather than coming out with a question where you can just copy it from the textbook. You frame a question in such a way that the question cannot be easily copied from a textbook. Then you can at least overcome this copying if the student tries to copy on an online examination. So the kind of question framing has to be more complex when compared to an offline examination. And students should be well informed about the exam arrangement, like what are the arrangements between them. For example, we have around 100 students. We should tell them you will be put into different rooms. They will be put in 20 students will be in different rooms, and each 20 student will be monitored by one invigilator. All these things should be completely clearly explained to the student before they enter into the session. And detailed instruction should be given to the students, and try to understand students' concern and try modifications accordingly. If there are some concerns of the students, there may be some technical limitations in each and every sphere, but still we can try to overcome when there are some limitations. And some kind of mock exam has to be conducted before you try to implement the real exam. And the guidelines during online examination. When you are conducting the online examination, what you need to do? You should arrange a sufficient amount of staff. Like as far as possible, there should be extra. For example, we'll presume that there are 100 students, and you are dividing them into 10 batches who will monitor 20 students. So there will be 10 invigilators. Extra, at least 2 to 3 should be extra. So that in case of some issues, technical issues, we can put them there also. And assign student to each invigilator. So we can do that kind of thing. Like once we start doing the mock exams, every one of you will realize, because this process will start now. Every weekly we'll have one session. Then over a period of time, probably 1 month, we'll try to understand how to conduct a theory exams online, how to conduct a practical exams online, how to conduct OSCE and all sorts of things like that. We have already worked on this kind of model. Our team is already working. I should be very grateful to our team because we have a lot of things in a period of past 1 week or so. And most of the things can be implemented. So this we'll try to present it over a period of time. And you should be able to assign the student individually, or can automatically also you can assign the student. But each and every invigilator has to see to it that he will confirm the IDs of the student. So it is the responsibility of every invigilator to confirm the IDs. So he should make the confirmation of the student who is presenting in front of him. And be aware if the students require any assistance, actually you should be able to provide that kind of assistance. And any disputes, the student, as far as students are concerned, what they should do is, if there is any problem, a technical problem as far as the students are concerned, they should do a screen capture and they should send the same to us, like they can WhatsApp to us to understand whether they had some technical problems or not. Then guidelines for after online examination. After online examination, what you need to do? You should give reasonable amount of time for the student to upload their answers. For example, you are telling the students to upload the answers on the camcorder. So they should be able to take a photo capture of that, convert it into a PDF copy, and they should send it across to us through WhatsApp or something like that. So all this process will take around at least maybe around 30 seconds to 1 minute. So 1 minute time should be given for the students to upload that. So that will be the maximum time given for the students. So before that, they should be able to upload all the answer scripts and confirm the number of attendees. Like for example, if there are 100 students, so you should check it in the WhatsApp that all the 100 students have submitted the things or not. If all the 100 students have submitted their online like theory paper or something like that, then you should tell the students that we have successfully completed the online examination. You can leave the session. Provide assistance if something is needed, and then close the session finally. So what are the guidelines for the students as far as the online examination concerned? So the student should be able to open the mobile or a computer, and at least, like in case of offline examination, we say the student should be reporting to the examination hall at least 50 minutes before the examination. But in case of online examination, we should advise the student to be, we report to online examination center before at least 30 to 35 minutes. So the student should have been reported at least 35 minutes before the start of the session. Like if at all we are starting the examination at 9 o'clock, the student should have reported by at least by 8:25 or something like that. And the invigilator will provide instruction on the support material which can be used. Excuse me. The invigilator will provide instruction on the support material which can be used. Any support material on the desk, maybe like whatever the support material which can be used, the invigilator will tell you. Other than that, if something is seen on the table of the student, then it will be considered as the student is cheating. So that's why students should be advised that, so nothing should be there on the table other than what has been told to you. And the student should have an ID card, the student ID card or some valid ID card, so that which will be visible. A student should be able to show the ID card. And once the visibility is seen and once the invigilator confirms that, then the student can start writing the exam. Then you may keep food or drinks as far as on the desk is concerned, because online examination is a stressful examination, both for the student and all for the invigilator. So that's why student is actually allowed to keep some amount of drinks or food rather than the student moving out of the screen. It is always better to be something let the student have something on the screen. And moving out of the screen, if the student moves out like this, it is treated as attempt to cheat. So the student should not move out of the screen. The student should always be in front of the screen. At any time, the student should not move out of the screen. So that observation will be done by the invigilator. The student can ask a clarification to the invigilator anytime by with him. So anytime the student finds some issues are there, the student can chat with the invigilator and also ask questions. And also some of the platforms provide an opportunity where you can raise your hand or something like that and also ask the question. You are not permitted to leave. The student is not permitted to leave the meeting till he has been told to leave. So student, we should not press the leave button. So there will be a leave button on the top of the screen. The student should be always told, should be told that you should not press that leave button till he is being told by the invigilator. So once the student has completed the exam, so he needs to follow the specific procedures for each and every. For example, for theory it will be different. For viva it will be different. For practicals it will be different. For each and every set of exams, the procedure of completion will be different. So that's what I told you, that we will be seeing. We will be looking into each and every session. So each and every session will be handled in a different way. So once completes all the session, then the invigilator will tell the students that you have completed the session. Then the student can leave the session. So this is what, as far as the students are concerned, they should be doing. So this in brief, like what is an online proctoring is concerned, how to conduct an online proctoring. This is just an introduction. So we will be showing you the demo sessions over a period of time. I think in next class we will try to look at how to handle a theory examination online also. So we have already conducted some demo sessions. We'll also do some demo sessions by placing everybody together. So then everybody will understand how to conduct an online theory examination also. So this is in brief about this online examination is concerned, online proctoring is concerned. I thank the principal. I thank Asha madam for providing us an opportunity to present this online material, like as far as the presentation is concerned. And I thank my team, the team which is behind me. Shilpa madam is there, Anita was there, Ramya, both Ramya KS and Ramya MP. So even Raghunandar. So all of us were like joined together, started some mock drilling. So mock drilling was done, mock examinations were done. So all the models we have tested, like both theory, all the theory model has been tested, practical model is tested, now spotters is tested, OSPI is tested. So all this we have done actually. So over a period of time, we'll be coming out with the sessions and we'll make you understand how we can conduct an online session in a very simple way with few technological things as far as the technology is concerned. Madam, I think the session complete. So I will stop sharing the screen. So now any questions are there, people can come and ask questions. They can unmute themselves and can ask questions, or they raise the hand also. Asha madam, you're online?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, madam, I can
hear. Can you hear me, sir?
Everybody can hear you, not only me.
Okay, thank you so much for elaborate presentation on this online exam, sir. Actually, this is the need of the hour. We are conducting the online classes and we are giving many tests to the student, but the authenticity of the test is lacking because we very well know that they are copying and writing. So thank you so much, and we congratulate you for your lucid presentation. Any questions by the participants? You're free to ask questions, please. Sir, I have one
Looking into,
question. Huh?
yeah, please. No, like looking
if
into the book and writing, no, it is called open book. Open book exam is like, that's what alternative thing is, open book examination.
Yeah, alternative is that, but this is better rather than the open book exam. Sir, if the student uses the device, any Bluetooth devices like that for copying, then how to solve it, sir?
No, actually, you can tell the student to turn their head. Like you can tell the student to come like this. Then you can see what is there in my ear. You can do all sorts of things. And there are like, if at all we use two mobile phones, like one mobile phone is there in front of me, one behind me, then that mobile phone can see it completely, like whatever I am doing. So we can use two mobile phones also to overcome these kind of things also. If you overcome completely, like you want to be secure yourself, no? If you use two mobile phones, one in front, one on the top, then you can completely see what student is doing.
Sir, Bluetooth device, they'll keep in their ear canal, sir, external acoustic meters.
No, Bluetooth, that's what I told you. If you suspect that the student is having a Bluetooth device, you can tell the student to come forward like this, then turn the head here. You can check in the ear. No, online VNT examination.
If they will keep book in front,
sir, behind the book,
in front
sir,
of them,
sir, if they keep any sheet or book behind the camera.
Yeah, I understand. Like for example, behind the computer, what you are telling. So that's what. First, you want to overcome that. That's what I'm telling you. We have one more mobile phone camera. Yes. So there has to be two cameras. You can completely overcome. If there is one camera, the thing is, that's what I told you. What kind of questions you frame, that is very important. If you frame a complex question, they will not be able to get into the book and read the thing and present it so fast, because there is a timeline also. So if at all, for example, if I look that side and start writing something, no, you can understand that I'm looking at something. Then you can tell the student that please don't look that side. Look into the screen.
Yeah.
Like more clinical based problems, those should be asked. It's better.
Yeah. Quite true. Anybody else?
And Rashmi madam had asked one question, sir, regarding assessment. Can you just see?
1 second. I'll look in the chat also. It is not for summative exams. We should make a sincere effort to use this in formative assessment. Are there any apps for assessing psychological skills? I know one such called Optimum. Apps are like psychological skills as far as summatives are concerned nowadays. Like basically, it is good for formative assessment. But if there is inevitability, you may have to conduct even summative exams in this manner only. So I'm telling you, online examination is not a standalone examination. It is just a supplementary examination for offline examination. So we should not read this as if that we are over a period of time we'll be completely online. No, nothing. Online examination can only supplement offline examination, cannot replace offline examination. And there may be some supplementary simulation apps, or I told you, in the first presentation, in the first few slides, I told you there are beautiful applications where you can use the application and completely you can come online rather than using the Zoom. What I told you is also free application, or maybe minimum we need to spend around minimum amount of money. But there are applications where you spend more money. Actually, there are applications where the whole software will be there. The computer will, even the student's computer will have a software, and the invigilator computer will have a software. So this software will block for example, if the software is there on my laptop, on a student's laptop, the student will not be able to see anything other than what is being presented to him. So all the browsers will be blocked. So that kind of softwares are also available. A lot of companies are there with that kind of software, but that is costly. That the institution has to take a call on as far as those things are. The softwares are definitely available.
And if we want to conduct exam for
Rashmi madam is always behind. She is telling should be used only for formative assessment, because she always makes a point clear that our point is very much true. anyhow, we will. So that's what I keep telling that. Once again I tell you, it can never replace the offline examination. It is only a supplementary aspect. Like when we are not able to conduct any exam, rather than pushing the student forward without conducting any examination, let us conduct something and push the student forward. Like for example, in my daughter, she is in the 10th standard. She has been pushed to 11th standard without any examination only. Only 3 examinations she wrote. Other 2 examinations she never wrote. So without writing the examination, they have passed her and they have pushed her to the 2nd level. So rather doing that, what will use some kind of examination can be devised so that before pushing them, we can use that.
No, what I mean to say is, offline exams, we cannot supplement them. But then when we are doing a regular classes post COVID, I think we should use more of this to do some assessment so that we have good documentation. The students themselves will have a good record. Their parents can see what's happening. I think that way we should use it in the future, sir.
Yeah. But anyhow, I think AICT has already told that they will conduct an online examination. So, AICT engineering students, anyhow, this is probably this year, in one or the other way, online examination will be, but it will not be a standard over a period of time. That's for sure.
This year, nothing can be done. Maybe in the future, we should inculcate them in our classes.
Whatever.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. It was a very nice, lucid presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Madam.
Sir, if we want to conduct it for 150 students, then should we divide it into small batches?
Yeah, we have divide it into small batches, and we have to pay some amount of money for 150 students. We have to pay some amount of money for the Zoom. Other than that, then nothing is there. But the thing is, number of examiners should be more invigilators. Like every 20 students, we will put 1 invigilator. So it means to say that there will be around 7 or 8 invigilators.
Or
Really, madam. Yeah, tell me, madam.
sir, can we divide them into batches on different days, like how we used to conduct?
That can also, but doing them for a theory exam is not possible. For YOC, definitely we can do. YOC, like what we conduct in YOC practicals, we can do. But for theory exams, it's always better to be on the same day.
Yes.
For same day, what you can do is, one day you can have an anatomy exam. So on that day, all department staff will come in and they will help the anatomy HOD. So second will be for biochemistry, third day there will be for physiology or something like that. So all the staff should be involved in that. We need a lot of, at least minimum of 8 to 10 staff members to invigilate this. For example, 150 students can be invigilated offline by just 2 or 3 staff members. But the same is not the case in online. Online, we need more invigilators.
Yes, sir.
But for that, more monitors should be provided in the exam room and also, no? Exam
No
hall.
need, madam. No need. No, examination, nobody is sitting in the exam room, no? They are sitting in their home, students.
In their own rooms.
Students are sitting in their home, staff are sitting in their department. So from their departments, they can monitor everything.
Okay.
This is purely online examination. This is purely online. It is not, I am not talking about offline examination.
And can it be recorded, sir?
Everything is recorded. I will show you.
Okay.
Whatever you are speaking now, it is recorded.
Okay.
Sir, what about the other malpractices? Okay, electronic device is fine. But when they are using the written exam and they are doing the pages, what they keep, everything, how can that be monitored, sir? That they don't keep?
I understand. The thing is, that's what, like, if you tell the student to place the camera appropriately, then I think whatever papers they are using, I think you can watch that actually.
So, but
if the camera is somewhere with an angle, you can watch everything. And also, since the camera is there right in front of them, the students will also be slightly scared actually. Like some of the teachers are facing more some of the in one of the analysis which has been done recently, what they are telling is more than 70 to 80% of teachers are finding it difficult to conduct an online education. So because online education is as if I am speaking directly to the blank audience. So there is nobody in front of me. I can only see a few of your videos and photos and things. Other than that, nobody is there in front of me. So it is not easy for somebody to get into online. It will take some time. So some of the learning is very essential. Similarly, for students also, it is not easy. Maybe over a period of time, they will develop all sorts of skills. So that's why I told you, you need to think in terms of student, what student can do. And you also know what as a student can do because you are also once a student. So you look in terms of a student and try to understand what and all they can do, and we can overcome that. I told you that's what 2 cameras are there now, you can avoid.
Yep.
One camera, it may be slightly difficult. 2 cameras, definitely nothing can be done. One in front, one behind, one above me, like that. 2 cameras means, it will mean to say that 150 students means 300 cameras. Then you need to have more invigilators.
Do you need any trained technicians for this, sir?
At this point of time, actually, nobody is well trained also. So it is all self-experience is training.
Hello.
So you have to,
When
you
it
have
is
to start
being done
using
on
to
a
get trained.
large
In
scale,
fact, that's what.
when it is being
I
done on a
understand it
large
is
scale-
difficult. For any of our for our college, I am there. I am an unpaid trained technician.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, how are we going to sensitize the students for this online exams?
We need to, that's what, we need to conduct one mock drill. So we have to conduct a mock examination. We should call the students and conduct some kind of mock examination one day. Then we'll start with the examination some other day.
Is it possible for us to include all the 150 students at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to have more invigilators. If the students are more invigilators.
Okay, I didn't get the concept of 2 cameras, sir, while writing the exam. The students.
Camera means what is like, for example, that's what when Dr. Archana was asking, like in case of if the student is trying to do something, if only one camera is there, the camera is directly seeing me. Now you are seeing only my face and things like that. But if I should place the camera in such a way that the camera is like the camera, like for example, I should place the camera something like this.
Okay.
I have to go backward. So it is difficult for me to go backward. So if I place a camera like that, no? So it depends upon how I place my camera. So in mobile, this is actually what I'm doing, actually a laptop camera. So so that's why I'm able to take the camera. But in case of mobile, what will happen is, mobile will have a bigger screen. So it has a, like you can just placing the mobile screen in front of your, also, the full thing will be visible. So more or less, actually, you can avoid, even with one camera also, you can avoid. One thing, how you tell the student to place it is very important.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Dr.
madam.
Lohit has suggested, sir, place a mirror behind the student. Mirror.
Oh, mirror.
Okay, workout agate.
Cutting, barber shop agutte.
But we need good internet coverage.
So you can place a mirror like this, so it can become a barber shop. Somebody has placed a mirror. Yaru nam Lohita. Mostly cutting angadi hog bandidaru. Okay. Mate, anything else? Uploading the answer sheet, can it be done in a minute? Answer sheet can be like, it depends, like that's what, once we conduct one mock examination, we'll understand whether we need 1 minute or 2 minutes. So based on that, we can change it. I'm not telling that 1 minute is the standard. So that has to be decided by the examiner. Like for example, it may be slightly, like for example, in anatomy, a lot of diagrams will be there, maybe they would have written more. So in case of anatomy, maybe you may give 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes also. So depending on the examination, because if you give more time, then student can do all sorts of things. As far as possible, the conversion time should be as short as possible. Any large files will not be there because it's only like for example, there are around the students are there in 1 hour. Rather than conducting for 3 hours, you can conduct the exam for 3 hours, 2 hours also. That you people can decide. Even if you're conducting for 3 hours, yes, pages per both, madam, approximately. In the anatomy, Approximately.
Sir, maximum that booklet, whatever that booklet, no, it will have the prescribed number of pages. That is a maximum limit.
ಅದೆಷ್ಟು
ಎಷ್ಟು
ಆಗ್ಬೋದು?
some
ಒಂದು 25
30
pages 50 pages
25
50 pages.
On each side 50.
48 ಏನೋ ಇತ್ತಂತ 48 ಪೇಜಸ್ ಇತ್ತಂತ
50 ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸರ್ 50.
48-50 pages ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಮ್ ಹಿಡಿಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಅವಾಗ ಟೈಮ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಐದರ್ ಯು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ 5 minutes or 10 minutes ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪಾನ್ that timing you can fix it. But if you have two phones, no, actually you can give whatever time they want to take. One phone is all stable there, and other phone they are using to do all sorts of things.
Like if it is online exam, we can use more objective questions.
Now, that can also be done. In your image capacity load varies with camera mobile. Yeah, the image capacity also varies, but the thing is they have to they are the student of Sri Siddhartha Institute of Medical Sciences. I think they should be having better phone than my phone, I think. So the demo of conducting exam. Well, we'll give the demo. We will definitely give a demo of conducting the examination. Anything else? Still people are typing. Come online, no? ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂತದಲ್ಲ. Okay.
Sir, the Swayam portal, they are also conducting similar proctored exam, and they have given a specific requirement of the device which needs to be used. They are conducting a mock test before. And once your device is saying that it is compatible with the kind of exam they will be conducting, only then they can take up the exam. So such specifications can be given earlier both to the students and to the staff who are conducting also.
Yeah, that I think that can be done. Like what is the minimum things required, as Dr. Archana was telling. For example, you have the mobile phone should be having a 20 megapixel camera, or the RAM be something like this. So these kind of things can be given. Anything else? All sorts of discussion is occurring in the chat form now. I think that should start. Anything else? I think we can close the session if no questions are there.
Okay, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Vasudev sir, for giving us the opportunity to conduct this session, and also all the higher authorities. And I would like to profusely thank our speaker, Dr. Narayan sir, and his team for taking the initiative to conduct this session for us. And I also thank all the participants for their active participation. Thank you so much. We'll be looking forward for the next session, sir.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for all the participants also.
Thank you, sir. It was a nice session.
There is no issue as far as Zoom is concerned. If you still feel there are issues as far as Zoom is concerned, you can come on Facebook. That's what I told.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay.
I will end the session, madam. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.